Most of us have heard the Dunning-Kruger effect. It is usually described this way. People who know very little about something often feel unusually confident, while people who know much more tend to become cautious, hesitant, and aware of how much they still do not know. And we have probably all seen the famous curve. At first, knowledge is low and confidence is low. Then someone learns a little and confidence shoots upward. As the person learns more, confidence collapses. Then, with greater knowledge and experience, confidence slowly rises again and finally settles at a more moderate level. It is a very appealing picture, but technically, that popular curve is not exactly what the original Dunning-Kruger research demonstrated. The original studies compared people's actual performance on certain tasks with their own estimates of how well they had performed. The general finding was that poor performers tended to overestimate themselves more than the strong performers did. The proposed explanation was that some of the same skills needed to perform well are also needed to recognize whether one has performed well. So if someone lacks the skill required to produce a good answer, that person may also lack the skill required to identify the defects in their own answer. That is the Dunning-Kruger effect in its stricter sense. But I want to go beyond that. Because the relationship between knowledge and confidence is much more complicated than one curve. It involves not only competence, but also self-awareness, personality, past mistakes, ego, social pressure, professional incentives, and the way society rewards the appearance of certainty. Let us begin with the basic idea: not knowing what we don't know. Suppose someone starts learning a subject. At first, the person learns a few concepts. Those concepts may fit together very neatly. The learner sees a small, coherent picture and may assume that this picture represents most of the field. The problem is that the missing parts are still invisible. Imagine that the total body of relevant knowledge is 100 units. A person knows 1 unit to begin with, but believes that 1 unit is almost everything. Subjectively, that person feels close to complete understanding. Later, the person learns 5 units. Objectively, the person now knows much more, but at the same time, the person begins to suspect that the total field may not contain 5 units. It may contain 50, 100, or 1000. So knowledge has increased, but the estimated size of the field has increased much faster. That person may now feel less confident, not because the 5 units are less well understood, but because the person has discovered that those 5 units occupy a much smaller part of the territory than originally imagined. This is an important distinction. Sometimes what looks like declining confidence is actually increasing awareness of the scope. There is another reason confidence may decline with learning. A person may discover not only that an earlier conclusion was wrong, but that the earlier confidence itself was unjustified. The person may think, I once believed that I understood this matter. I later discovered that I had badly misjudged myself. If my self-assessment was unreliable then, perhaps it may still be unreliable now. That creates a deeper kind of uncertainty. It is not merely uncertainty about the answer, it is uncertainty about one's own ability to judge the answer. But different people respond to mistakes differently. Some people say, I happened to be wrong that time. Others say, perhaps the method by which I became so certain was flawed. The first person changes one conclusion. The second person may change a habit of mind. This is one reason people do not all move through the same confidence curve. Some learn quickly from error. Others repeat the same error while protecting the self-image. There is also the issue of personality. Two people may possess roughly the same level of knowledge, yet one may be naturally confident while the other is naturally doubtful. One may have been encouraged throughout the life to speak decisively. The other may have been repeatedly corrected, dismissed, or punished for speaking with confidence. So, confidence is never produced by knowledge alone. It is also shaped by temperament, upbringing, anxiety, success, failure, and social experience. And there is another complication. Real expertise in one field may create false confidence in another. A person who is genuinely accomplished may reasonably think, I am highly competent in my field. But that thought can gradually expand into something else. I am a highly capable person. And then, because I am highly capable, my judgment in this unrelated field is also probably superior. Some skills are transferable. Logical reasoning, careful reading, research habits, and intellectual discipline can certainly help across different subjects. But transferable intelligence is not transferable expertise. A brilliant engineer is not automatically an expert of history. A successful entrepreneur is not automatically an expert in medicine. A respected artist is not automatically an authority of law. In fact, genuine success may make this kind of overconfidence more likely because the person already has strong evidence that their judgment is valuable somewhere. The mistake is failing to notice where that authority ends. Now, let us move from private self-assessment to public life. Confidence has practical value. In careers, people must apply for positions, ask for promotions, propose ideas, negotiate salaries, volunteer for leadership, and take risks. A person who overestimates their ability may take a step that a more qualified but less confident person avoids. Sometimes taking the step is enough. The overconfident person applies. The cautious person waits. The first person gets the interview, gains visibility, builds connections, and perhaps receives the position. Then the result is interpreted as proof that the original confidence was justified. But that is not necessarily true. Confidence may have produced the opportunity without proving the competence. This can create a cycle. Confidence produces action. Action produces visibility. Visibility produces opportunity. Opportunity produces status. And status is then treated as evidence that the original self-assessment was correct. Meanwhile, the more knowledgeable person may remain silent because complete certainty is unavailable. This becomes especially harmful in public discourse. Experts often know how many qualifications are necessary. They know which evidence is incomplete, which conclusions are disputed, and where their own expertise ends. So, they speak carefully. A less knowledgeable person may see none of these complications and therefore speak with complete certainty. The expert says, the evidence strongly supports this conclusion, although there are important limitations. The less informed speaker says, this is obviously the truth. Now, the second statement sounds stronger, and in many public spaces, sounding stronger is mistaken for knowing more. This creates a social problem. Confidence is easy to observe. Competence is difficult to verify. So people begin using confidence as a substitute. The person who speaks first, speaks loudly, and speaks without qualification may dominate the discussion, not because that person has the best understanding, but because certainty itself creates authority. And perhaps nowhere does this become more harmful than in politics. Political problems are usually complex. They involve incomplete information, competing interests, uncertain consequences, and difficult trade-offs. But politics often rewards the person who presents the simplest answer with the greatest certainty. A responsible political leader may say, this appears to be the best available course, but it involves risks, depends on certain assumptions, and may need to be revised. Another leader may say, the answer is obvious. I understand the problem completely. Anyone who disagrees is either incompetent or dishonest. The second message is easier to repeat, easier to rally around, and often more politically effective. This creates a severe disadvantage for intellectual honesty. Nuance can be made to look like weakness. Changing one's position in response to evidence can be portrayed as inconsistency. Consulting experts can be framed as indecision. The danger becomes much greater when confidence is joined with power. An overconfident individual may make a bad personal decision. An overconfident political leader may shape laws, institutions, economics, conflicts, education, public health, and the rights of million people. Politics also attracts cross-domain overconfidence, such as a speaker, organizer, business person, activist, or media figure may be mistaken for expertise in economics, science, law, history, or diplomacy. But gaining political authority does not automatically produce knowledge in every area over which that authority is exercised. Worse, a leader may begin surrounding themselves with people who reinforce their certainty. Experts who raise objections may be dismissed as weak, disloyal, or obstructive. At that point, overconfidence is no longer merely personal. It becomes institutional. The system begins protecting the leader from correction. This may be one of the most damaging consequences of the confidence-competence divide. Politics can actively select for certainty, even when certainty is least justified. Ego and personal reward make the problem worse. If confident behavior brings attention, promotion, income, influence, admiration, or political power, the person receives reinforcement. The person may think, I spoke confidently and people followed me. Therefore, I must be right. But what has really been demonstrated is only this. I spoke confidently and confidence influenced people. Social success can validate a strategy without validating the belief behind it. Can this be addressed? To some extent, yes. We can develop a habit of pausing before assuming that we understand a matter better than others. We can ask, what exactly do I know? What is the evidence? Am I confident because I understand this field or because I'm generally accustomed to being successful? Am I transferring authority from one domain to another? What would change my mind? And am I speaking because I have something reliable to contribute or because I'm uncomfortable leaving the space unoccupied? But there is an equally important warning. The lesson should not be that knowledgeable people must become even quieter. The opposite of overconfidence is not silence. A person should not wait for absolute certainty before contributing. Complete certainty is rarely available. The more responsible position is something like this. This is my best supported judgment. Here is the evidence. Here are the limits I can presently see, and I remain willing to revise. So, the larger issue goes beyond the Dunning-Kruger effect. It is the divide between competence and the appearance of competence. A novice may fail to see their own ignorance. An expert may become overly restrained. A successful person may carry authority beyond its proper field. A workspace may reward initiative more than accuracy. An audience may confuse fluency with truth. A political system may reward certainty over judgment. Our repeated rewards may teach people that appearing certain is more useful than becoming correct. The real intellectual task is not simply to gain knowledge. It is to build an accurate relationship among four things: what we know, what we do not know, what we think we know, and what we allow others to believe that we know. That is not only a matter of intelligence, it is also a matter of responsibility. The goal is neither maximum confidence or maximum doubt. The goal is calibrated participation.